Welcome back, everybody, to East Side Sauce, episode 4. I'm Jack Woods.
And I'm JB Houston.
And hold up, JB, wait, didn't we do this like yesterday?
It's like Groundhog's Day, man.
Dude, I'm getting mad
I
deja vu.
had to switch to a different recording system in hopes of eliminating a little static. Didn't work out
Yeah,
too great. We
so
got the kinks worked out
yesterday,
though.
this was originally recorded yesterday, but JB sabotaged the files,
Yeah,
supposedly.
yeah. I had a lot of editing to do, and I was looking at it, and I was like, no,
Just gonna
it's
delete
a
it.
lot easier
But,
to didn't.
besides that, we pushed through. We got this.
We
We
did.
got a great show for you guys today. We got a new segment, which I'm extremely looking forward to. I bet you are too, JB.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but
For sure, a
before
good one.
that, we got to talk about coronavirus, obviously.
Of course.
So,
So
what's going on with that?
not much has happened. A couple days ago, I did see that a mother was arrested for letting her kids play in the park. But upon further digging into the comments section, we realized that this may or may not have been because she was taking down the caution tape around there. But what do you think about this, Jack?
I mean, I'll keep saying it. Like social. It's what I'm gonna say. It's that I have seen more people outside in the past 6 or so whatever weeks we've been on than I've ever seen outside anywhere,
True. I
which
think
is
people
kind
are
of
going a
ironic.
little crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. As far as the lady being arrested, I mean, if she was like taking down caution tape and like opening up like the picnic tables and having like a
Right.
gathering with kids and other people, I definitely see reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking honestly, we should. I mean, I think I said the same thing a few weeks ago on the episodes that we should have done like a fully enforced quarantine and then just done that for 2 weeks, and we would have been, smooth sailing by now.
That would be ideal. Um,
But
Speaking of smooth sailing, the USNS Comfort will be leaving New York City at the end of the month, which is probably sometime soon. It is Wednesday the 29th as we are recording this. But all the patients have been discharged. It's been docked since. Go ahead.
that was docked in New York City, right?
Yep. Yeah, the
Or in
Comfort.
Harvard?
The Comfort was in the in New York City, and I think the Mercy, the sister ship, was in San Francisco. They treated 182 people on the Comfort, and it's been docked since March 30th.
Yeah, I think that's just cool. Like how they were able to. I know the ship previously has been a medical ship. I think it's amazing of how like you're able to transform. It looks like almost a cruise liner almost.
Yeah, it's got like the
Um,
flat front or whatever.
yeah, it looks like a Royal Caribbean cruise liner mixed with a cargo ship. But I
Yeah,
think it's just cool of what they were able to do and turn it into a floating hospital that at one point um it had upwards of like 180 patients, I believe was the
yeah,
max that it had at one
yep.
point.
It had like 1,000 hospital beds. I'm not 100% sure on anything except for the hospital beds, but it had dozens of ICU units, and it's definitely impressive.
Yeah, I mean that's like the ultimate quarantine. You just load everyone up on that. You sail a few miles offshore and then just wait for everyone to get better.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, speaking of that, it's a little bit of old news, but the um, International Space Station, three of the three crew members came back, I think, in early March,
Right.
and it was funny just like looking at all the photos of all of them once they stepped out of the Soju pod. It just they didn't want to be here.
I wouldn't want to be either. Outer space is a pretty damn good quarantine.
Yeah, it's like you're chilling up there. You got like six other people that you can come in contact with because you don't care, and then you land back here for the
Yeah.
first time in 6 months, and there's a pandemic going around.
Yeah, they kind of got screwed over, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
More More space news. SpaceX is slated to launch 3 astronauts to the International Space Station in a Dragon pod. I believe that is May 27th.
Yeah,
Uh,
I cannot wait for that. That's gonna be awesome.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm seriously debating if get one more extension just going down there because it's out of Cape Canaveral. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like
Um,
seriously debating just driving down there.
I'm not
See that
sure if
place.
they'll let people watch it. Actually, that might be a.
Oh yeah, think of that. Yeah,
But it will be the first time that SpaceX is sending a crewed mission to space. They've sent empty Dragon pods to the ISS before. Um,
yeah. And I also believe that they just retired their original Dragon capsule.
yeah. So only 3 countries have successfully put a man in space, I believe, and that is Russia, or the USSR did it first, followed by the United States, followed
Then
by
I know.
China. Um, so yeah, Elon Musk and SpaceX, number 4.
That's just amazing. I mean, we've touched on this in previous episodes, just like how far private companies have come in space travel
Yeah.
in recent years is amazing. And the fact that in less than a month now, humans will be leaving Earth from US soil for the first time in 20-25 years since they retired the space shuttle program is just mind blowing.
I believe the space shuttle was retired a little earlier than you think, at around 2011, but it's definitely amazing. The United States does not have the capability to send people to orbit. That's why they rely on contractors such as Boeing, SpaceX, sometimes
Yeah,
Russia, sometimes
and
China.
this will also, yeah, because I think before this happens, we're solely reliant on Russia and their capsules to get to and from the International Space Station.
Yeah.
And I
When is
believe
that?
it's go on.
Go ahead. Do you
Oh
know when the ISS is supposed to be retired?
no, I don't. I don't think for a while because I'm guessing that they would have plans to make a different one before they retired this one.
2025, according to planetary.org. NASA and international partners agreed to keep it flying through 2024. How do you bring that down, though? I feel like that would be
Just you use
an ordeal.
thrusters to lower its orbit and then just like gravity do the rest
I guess, but like, where's it gonna land?
in the ocean, probably.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I guess. I don't know.
But
Be a
wait,
lot
really,
of.
2024?
I'm sorry?
You said 2024?
Yeah, that's what planetary.org says. Is when
It's
they
weird
agreed to
because
keep it going.
that's, I bet it'll go longer than that. That's weird because you'd think that they wouldn't want to retire it till they have another one up and
Right.
running or close to completion.
Apparently, it costs a $4 billion in annual operating costs just for NASA alone. Um, I'll link a screen capture of um, the website where I'm getting this from.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess this is I see the only good in this is that now that we won't have the International Space Station, it'll definitely drive public opinion for us to go back to the moon or go to Mars or other places. Because as you're saying, it seems that in 4 years we won't have
A space station. I'm sure that
or
something will go up to replace it.
yeah, but I mean, from what I've heard is that it took like 10 plus years for them to complete the ISS.
Right.
I mean, it's still always having like new capsules put on it and everything. Huh. Well, that'll be something to keep a lookout on.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Calling back to something we discussed in episode 3, I believe. Uh, we were talking about those the UFO videos that were leaked. The Navy
Three more,
declassified more of them,
yeah, three more photos.
and and these they look like actual flying saucers.
One of
So
them looks like a TIE fighter almost.
the one I'm looking at, the Forbes tweet, looks like a flying saucer.
Yeah,
Um,
I find it crazy that like nowadays, like UFOs declassified by U.S. military is like the third biggest story right now.
Yeah, that's. I don't think people really care in the middle of a global pandemic, but it's definitely
It's
cool.
like,
Cool
dude,
to think about.
By September, aliens visit Earth is going to be like next to Sudoku in the Sunday newspaper.
Yeah, it's not even going to be that big of a deal. I don't know. Pentagon was probably like, all right, screw it, we're gonna die in a couple months anyways. Might as well show them the UFOs. All
This
right.
could have come out during the Area 51 raid.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Let's
So I
move
think
on
that's it
to
for the. Go ahead.
I was just about to move on to the tech of this week.
All right.
A
First.
little dry, not as big as it has been, as expected. But Jimmy, you want to tell us about some of the stuff that's been coming out recently?
We got three main things coming out. We got Motorola's new smartphone. I believe this is one of their first smartphones in a while. It's spec'd pretty well. Snapdragon 865, around 12 gigabytes of RAM, 6.7 inch, 90 hertz OLED. That they're calling the super curved waterfall display, which I'm not sure what that is. Pretty decent assortment of cameras, 180 megapixel main camera, 3x telephoto, and 16 megapixel ultra wide. All bundled in with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that is exclusive to Verizon and will probably cost close to $1,000, if not right on there.
Yeah,
What do you think about this, Jack?
I mean, that's probably what your standard Android phone is probably going to look like coming out this year. I will go back that judging based off of what OnePlus has done this year, what Samsung has done this year, everyone seems to be upping their megapixel count this year.
Yeah.
And what's your opinion on that?
To be honest with you, I don't know too much about photography other than, big number is better, but I do know that there's probably a lot of other things that you can do to improve camera quality other than add more sensors and add more megapixels.
Yeah,
like Google has done a great job with their software, making their photos look great. Probably the best photo smartphone around.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so I like how you said you don't know much about photography except the point that big numbers are better.
Yeah.
And then you went to saying how like Google has some of the best photos when their cameras are like 12 megapixels.
Yeah, it's all software.
Yeah,
Their
so
night mode is crazy.
I don't know too much about photography and camera sensors, but from what I've read and what I've watched and heard is that the more megapixels, the larger the sensor is, which means you can have more light come in, which usually on like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, like the point and shoot or the Olympus or Canons of the world, you want those big numbers because you can always have like almost an inch or half-inch sensor in the camera. Problem is that smartphone is sensor and area that you can put it on is so small that just having big numbers doesn't really affect it the same way that it does with larger cameras.
Right.
So I feel like it's almost a marketing technique that people are doing by adding these huge numbered megapixel cameras into their phones to make it seem good when in reality it really is the software for devices this small that make the picture
look so good.
as good as it is. The image processing that the phones have, which really that's the main thing that helps the photo stand out.
Right. Whenever a new smartphone comes out, I always think back to something you told me a little while ago, a couple years I think now. You said that once there's 100% screen to body ratio, software's going to matter a lot more. It seems like the screen to body ratio is not as big of a deal in 2020 as we thought it was going to be. Does it still matter that much to you or no?
Yes. I feel like because we've pushed the screen as far as we can with the technology that we have, that the next big step will be because as of now, the only thing that we really can't put under the display is the camera. We found ways to put the earpiece under the display by having the display itself vibrate to create sound. So the only thing that we can't do yet is put the camera underneath it. And I think that that technology is still a few years away. But in my opinion, that once we get the camera under the display and you do have 100% screen to body ratio, software is going to be the only thing that's going to be able to be comparable for a phone. Because what you could do is, let's say 5 years time, you could put an iPhone next to a Samsung, next to a Pixel, next to an LG, and they'll all basically be glass sandwiches with stainless steel in the middle, a full resolution, probably 120 hertz display on the front. And if you're looking at it from the top with the screen off, you wouldn't be able to tell which is which.
Yeah, I think that's.
It's not going to be until you actually like dive in and see how it works and see what processor it has and see what skin is over top of the software. Right. Is it just standard Android? Is it iOS? Is it whatever the heck Samsung puts on their phones now? So I think that in a few years' time, that's definitely going to be the software. It's going to be the standout features.
Coming into whenever we do achieve a screen to body ratio of 100%, which means on the front of the phone there's just all screen. Companies like LG and Samsung are going to have a pretty big advantage, because their displays are just simply better as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I know Samsung makes most of the displays for the iPhones. I think LG makes them for Google. Because they are the best at making them.
Right.
They'll always have an upper hand. I know Samsung makes a lot of the camera sensors too that go in these new phones.
Yep. So you still have an iPhone XR, correct?
Yeah.
Do you miss Touch ID, or is you solely with Face ID now?
Well, I came to this from Samsung,
right?
And personally, I don't miss Touch ID. I do think that eventually it will probably come back if full screen display. They'll probably put it underneath. They'll probably put a fingerprint sensor under the display, like I know OnePlus and Samsung are doing. But personally, I don't miss it now.
If you were going to have a fingerprint sensor, would you rather have something like Samsung used to do, Google still does, fingerprint sensor in the back, or would you rather have it under the glass?
I mean, probably under the glass, just for ease of use, and also that then you don't have to have a button or sensor on the back.
Right.
I just think that like a large sensor that maybe takes like the bottom third of the phone, that'd be the probably ideal thing for phones to use.
Yep. So more Google news. Pixel Buds 2 came out or will be coming out soon. I'm not quite sure. But $180, no active noise cancellation. That's gonna be hard to swallow.
Yeah, I've always found Google's accessories weird.
Yeah,
I mean, their original Pixel Buds were
garbage,
mediocre at best. And then they're like, I just think that they should probably get out of the accessory game. Personally,
I have a Pixel stand and I do love it, but yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Typically, they don't make great headphones.
Yeah. These buds, I haven't heard too much about them, but I mean, the main thing, how you said, is no noise canceling, and for that price, I don't think it's worth it. The only good or like interesting thing of note that I've ever seen Google be able to do with headphones is their real-time translations.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Pixel 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they have the same thing in the Google Translate app that is available to download on any device. So
yeah, it's essentially just putting Google Translate in earbuds. It's definitely impressive and it's cool to think about, but I'm not sure how well it works. One, Google Translate isn't excellent at getting 100% correct translations, but yep.
Yeah, I think that Google should just stick to software and then their Pixel if they can get it right.
I'm excited for Google Pixel 5. I'll definitely be checking it out. So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for consumer electronics. Moving on to the Tesla Model S updates. Over-the-air update decreased the 0 to 60 time to 2.3 seconds by allowing cheetah mode, which lowers the front axle via the air suspension, improving traction and acceleration. 2.3 seconds is extremely fast for anybody who does not follow cars.
Yeah, I think that puts it in like at least top 10 or top 15. And most of the cars in like top 5 are multi-million dollar cars when you can grab a Model S for around $60,000.
Trying to get a pull up the list of the fastest to 60. 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, from the first thing that you said is that it was an over-the-air update, which is just you don't hear car companies doing that ever.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
just don't need to bring your car in anymore.
yeah, entirely. I know that with this update, they also did updates to full autonomy. It can now recognize different street signs, which is just going to help it eventually, in a few years, just have full autonomous driving. So you can call your car, it'll come pick you up, and then you can sit in the back seat and chill as your car drives you to work or whoever. Which
Definitely excited for that.
yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
so according to 0to60specs.com, again, we'll make sure to link this article. It relies not on the manufacturer's specs, but on actual tests done by Motor Trend, Car and Driver, and other magazines like that. Apparently, the Tesla Model S P100 is the second fastest car 0 to 60. It ran a 2.28 in their tests. It's rated for 2.3. It probably can go faster now. The only car that beats it out is the Porsche 918 Spider, which is an $814,000 car.
So 0 to 60 time.
It hits 2.2 seconds even.
That'll be cool to see because supposedly, according to Tesla, I know it'll probably be pushed back a few years now, is Roadster's coming out soon, their second gen, which has a supposed 0 to 60 of 1.9.
0.9 seconds is blazing fast. Anything under 6 seconds and you get a pretty good kick when you step on it, but
yeah, from
under
what
3 seconds, insane.
What I've seen from the Roadster videos, and including is that you know how normal Teslas you have like ludicrous mode.
Right.
Roadster has Plaid, which everyone knows is the fastest you can go.
Mm-hmm.
And the dashboard display right in the middle, it even goes Plaid once you go that quick.
That's pretty awesome. Well, Elon has been tweeting about the SpaceX package that's supposedly included with cold air rockets on all around the car to improve acceleration, braking, and cornering. That would also be extremely impressive if he pulls it off.
Because why not? You know, like after you've sold 500 flamethrowers, of course, you just strap some rocket engines to a car and sell it to people.
Why not? I'm so pissed that I didn't get one of those flamethrowers, dude.
Yeah.
They're going for like $1,300 on eBay too. So it's not like I can just get a used one.
Here, listen to this. Here, I'm going to run a little timeline through you.
All right.
It was about 2 years ago. So one is sitting in traffic one day and decides that he's annoyed. So he's just going to start digging a tunnel underneath LA. He does it. He sells hats to raise money for the company. He sells out of 50,000 hats and then decides to sell flamethrowers. He sells
Step
all
up.
the flamethrowers, and then 2 days later, he straps his car to a rocket and shoots it into space.
Yeah, Starman is still cruising, going pretty well.
Yep.
I'm not ashamed to admit, the Boring Company took me a second to get the double meaning behind the company name. Kind of made me feel a little stupid, but I got it now, so it's okay.
Yep. And with that, JB, do you want to let me in on the surprise? You think
The
it's time?
surprise, the new surprise. So we
So,
introduced 2 segments last week. We got a new one. It was Jack's idea, so I'll let him take it away.
so we all know that we're extremely mad that sports aren't happening. Everyone's
Obviously.
sad. Everyone is extremely upset. So what we wanted to do is JB and we wanted to find out what was the best year in all of history for the best music and movies to come out in. And just because why not? We put it into like a March
NCAA
Madness.
style bracket. Yeah.
And then we took the top 32 best years, in our opinion, which had the best music and movies, and we bracketed them up against each other. And yeah, today we're going to go through the first, 5 matchups?
5 matchups, yep. So we're going to be doing 5 matchups a week until episode 10,
Final.
which will be the final matchup. So definitely subscribe to make sure you can see all of these.
Yep.
So the matchups
JB?
were chosen randomly, as to prevent any bias. So it should be pretty fair for every year.
Yep. And whoosh, pew, baby, throw the bracket up on the screen right
Bracket,
there.
pow pow.
So
Boom.
today
It's
we'll do
up.
the first 5. And yeah, you're willing to at home. You can fill out your own, think who's going to win. And yeah, you said episode 10 will be the final to decide the
Yep.
two. And
We
each
will
of
be
us have made
revealing.
our own personal brackets.
Took a while. I thought I'd be just rolling through the matchup, but got tricky as we got down to it.
I know next week for me, I have a lot of top ones in there. And also starting next week, we're going to have a third person. We're going to have guests on during the segment to help break any tiebreakers or give any of their input so that it's not just us tying or having our own personal biasm.
Sorry, what word was that,
Push
Jack? You do English good.
It's been a
Fair
long
competition. We're adding a third person to make the competition fair. First matchup today is 2014 versus 2012, so that's pretty recent.
Yeah. Oh, and
But
also because of YouTube copyright, we can't play the songs, but I'll make sure JB you'll link we have a Spotify playlist with all the songs on them that I'm pretty sure you can link.
yeah, we'll also link we can link the list as well, so you can see what we're comparing. So first up, 2014
the list
versus
itself,
2012.
it's 160 songs and movies total.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it took me like 5 hours to put the entire thing together.
I know. When you shared this with me, I was like, "Damn, bro."
It's
Okay,
13 pages of just music and movies.
and it's in chronological order too. We didn't put it in order of the matchups, so if there's a little pause scrolling in between, please excuse us. Thankfully, the first matchup is relatively close. For 2012, we have somebody that I used to know, Call Me Maybe, We Are Young, Payphone, and Lights for the music. And we have Dark Knight Rises, Avengers, Skyfall, Zero Dark 30, The Life of Pi, and The Hobbit for our movies. Going up against 2014 with Happy, Dark Horse, All of Me, Fancy, and Counting Stars for the music, and Boyhood, Guardians of the Galaxy, Birdman, Gone Girl, and Lego Movie for our movies.
I mean, personally, I think that this was a pretty simple matchup.
Yeah, not much decision on my part either. Would like to note that these songs and movies were picked in order of total popularity. These are not our picks.
Yeah, for the movies, they're the top 5 on IMDb, or if those weren't like stand out enough, it's the movies that like define that year or like the big blockbusters that came out. And then for music, it's strictly Rolling Stones top 100 from each year.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna break this up into music and then movies first. Which year's music did you prefer?
Personally, neither.
I'm not quite sure I like most of these songs.
Lacking both of these years. So I have to go music wise strictly. I'll probably put 2014 over 2012
That's
for music.
interesting. I'm not sure. A
But
lot of the songs in 2014, I think they were more popular in 2014 than the songs of 2012 were in 2012. But that might just be because I was younger in 2012 and I'm not quite sure.
yeah, I agree.
But what about movies? I think movies was pretty easy for me.
I'm gonna make my decision for this year strictly off of movies since the songs didn't really stand out for me. 2012 all the way.
I'm gonna agree with you. Dark Knight Rises, great movie. Avengers, it was a great movie when it came out, but it kicked off the MCU, the whole connected universe. Skyfall, obviously, great movie. I don't think I've seen Zero Dark 30, Life of Pi, or The Hobbit, but
Seen those three, they're all really good. Life of Pi, if you have time.
right.
Yeah, I think this is an easy one for 2012. Just looking at the movies.
Yeah. The only movies that I liked from 2014 were Guardians of the Galaxy and the Lego movie, but I still think that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was better than the.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. The first one's better.
You think? There's no
Yeah.
heartbreak in the first one. In the second one, when Yondu dies, right in the field.
The first one's better.
All right.
Agree to
All right.
disagree.
Yeah, for now. All right, next matchup.
2012. We'll move on to the second
2012 is moving on. Yep. Boom. Bracket. Pow. Next matchup: 1991 versus 1977. From 1977, we'll go in order of chronologically. We have one moment. Tonight's the Night. I Just Want to Be Your Everything. Best of My Love. The love theme from A Star Is Born and Angel in Your Arms. Movies, we've got A New Hope, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Aguirre, Wrath of God, Rolling Thunder, and Annie Hall. And then from 1991, one moment, we have I Do It For You, I Want to Sex You Up, Gonna Make You Sweat, Rush Rush, and One More Try. And movies, this is loaded. We got Silence of the Lambs, Terminator 2, Point Break, Beauty and the Beast, and Raise the Red Lantern.
I think that I definitely, the movies for, as you said, for 1999 definitely stand out more than 77.
The songs are kind of mediocre from both years again.
Yeah, we listened to some of them yesterday when we recorded this the first time, and I remember that we both let me see.
I think we chose 1977 songs as better.
Yeah, 1977, I think we had better songs, but as you said, that since both were so mediocre, I'm gonna probably go off of movies for this one again and put 91.
I think that even if if 4 other movies were crap on 1991, it would still take it. Terminator 2 was such a great movie, and it's such a great series overall.
Yeah, sure. So another unanimous distinctive vote, 91.
Yeah, 1991. Moving on. Brackets updating. Right. Boom, pow. Okay. Next matchup: 2000 versus 2019. Again, kind of recent. We got Breathe, Smooth, Say My Name, and I Want to Know and Everything You Want for music of 2000. And then Gladiator, Castaway, Almost Famous, X-Men, and American Psycho for the movies. And then 2019 is a pretty stacked year for movies. Music, kind of mediocre again. Old Time Road, Bad Guy, Call Natura, Sucker, and Circles. And then Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Endgame, Knives Out, and Joker for the movies.
I think so far this is probably the closest matchup.
Yeah.
Or let's start 2020. I mean, 2000 first. The songs are fine.
Yeah, they're not. They didn't really stand out to me.
Yeah, going to movies, I've seen most, if not all, of these. Gladiators, a classic, great movie. Castaway, Tom Hanks, amazing. Almost Famous, definitely watch. If you have time, it's a good movie. X-Men didn't. I don't like this series. It's too confusing for me.
The X-Men series was never. Not even that it was just too confusing. Remember, I said my favorite movie was Fiction a couple episodes ago, but it just was never as good as the Avengers storyline, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And then American Psycho, definitely a classic. But then I think 2019 was, I think it has stacks, not stacked, but it's better on both fronts.
Yeah, it's got mediocre music. Old Time Road was a huge deal when it came out, obviously.
Yeah, and then
Bad
I
Guy,
think last
same
year
thing.
had some of the best movies that I've seen in a long time. Sure.
Definitely. Parasite, I don't think I've seen it, but I've heard great things. Once Upon a
Yeah.
Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino movie, not his best work, but still amazing. Endgame, the splash that Endgame made, that was such, like, within 4 days it felt like almost everybody had already seen it. It was the conclusion
Yeah.
to the MCU. Amazing, obviously. Knives Out, I still have not watched it.
Watch
Great.
it. It's so good.
Is it?
It made me restore faith in Ryan Johnson's ability to direct a movie.
Is it kind of like Clue? Because the vibes that I was getting was that it was like kind
Okay,
of.
so it's kind of like Clue. It's a murder mystery, but explain it without like giving away major plot points.
I'll
It's like,
probably I'll probably watch it soon.
so like when you think about a murder mystery, you think like murder happens, the detective comes in, he like there's like a bunch of red herrings, he goes on different things, and then towards the end you find out what happened.
Right.
But this one, it's all mixed up.
Just
Like,
all crazy.
I want to explain. Like, you know what happens within the first 30 minutes,
That's
and then for the
I can
rest of
see
the
how that would be
movie,
good.
it's like, ugh, dude. The only way I can say it is I'm going to use a line from the movie. It's that there's a donut, okay,
Yeah.
and the mystery is like finding that last piece that fits in the hole of the donut. But then
Gotcha.
once you find that piece, it's actually not a piece. It's actually a smaller donut which goes inside the hole of the donut. So what you
Good
get is a
Inception.
donut in a donut.
That's impressive. And then last movie of 2019 should have been higher on this list. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
I think
Again,
like the way
huge.
how they were able to make like a movie about the villain for
Mhm.
DC is
I
extremely cool.
I end up rooting for the villain a lot of the time anyways. Thanos was right. It's okay. So again, I think this one's more I think it's more one-sided than the previous two matchups.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll definitely go 2019 for my pick on this one.
yep. I believe that 2019 had better the music was mediocre, but at the time it was better than
2000.
2000s music, and then the movies are just loaded. That might be an unbeatable combo, to be honest with you. So 2019, moving on.
Yep.
Okay, second to last matchup of this week. We've got 2011 versus 2016. Again, pretty recent matchup and also close together in years. As we move on, there's a couple matchups with a longer time in between them. But for 2011, we have Rolling in the Deep, Party Rock Anthem, Firework, E.T., and Give Me Everything. And then Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Hugo, X-Men First Class, Thor, and Captain America the First Avenger. And for 2016, we have Love Yourself, Sorry, One Dance, Work, Stressed Out, and then Moonlight, La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, Arrival, and Captain America Civil War. What you thinking here?
Be my least favorite one yet. either really on either side, music or movies stand out too much to me. I do remember 2016. That was the year. It was like Moonlight versus La La Land at the Oscars and Golden Globes to see who could
Right.
win most. Um,
The only
and
movie
then
that I really liked from 2016 was Captain America: Civil War. Even though Iron Man would have
I saw
beat the
that.
hell out of Captain
Oh, I like
America.
Arrival. I thought that was definitely very good. It was confusing, but I watched it again after I finished it because there's a twist at the end. Seeing it from the new perspective definitely helped. Um, I think Arrival also has Jeremy Renner who plays Hawkeye
Right.
in
In the Avengers.
America. Um, and then going to the other
Personally,
side, yeah.
I think I picked 26. No, I'm not sure. This is a close one. Nothing really stands out to me, like you said.
I'm gonna go back to my bracket really quick and see which one I chose for this year. What is this? Okay. Huh.
I picked 2011 here, but I'm open to being swayed either way.
So
Don't
that
have a preference.
I put 2016 down.
All
I
right,
don't know.
what were your reasons for 2016?
I think I don't know if it was more recent because I remember it. I do feel like I remember because Captain America: Civil War came out the same. That was the same year that Batman vs Superman came out, and there
Right.
was the debate over which one was better. Um,
Personally, I think I like Captain America better than.
I just feel like that year stood out more, maybe because it was more recent. Um,
I'll switch up. A lot of the movies from 2011 I thought were kind of unsatisfying. We already mentioned we don't really like X-Men. I personally didn't like the first two Thor.
yeah,
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It was okay. It was kind of the experience was kind of ruined because the first part was just terrible. And
yeah,
Captain America: First Avenger was good, I'll admit.
yeah. I just feel like, I mean, impacts that some of the movies, and I feel like the music also for 2016 stood out a little bit more. I
Yeah.
remember Stressed Out was huge during the summer. Um,
Love Yourself was
uh,
a thing. I don't know. I don't listen to Justin Bieber.
yeah, I think I'll go 2016 on this one.
I'll switch my opinion. 2016, making it through to the second round.
I mean, 2016 is going to end up, it's going up against 2019 for the next one. So
2019 is a heavyweight.
it's all right. So
Come back
next
next week to find out. We've
up,
got 1997 versus 1979 as our final matchup for today. So, chronological order: 1979, I believe. My Sharona, Bad Girls, Le Freak, Do You Think I'm Sexy, Reunited. And then Apocalypse Now, Alien, Escape from Alcatraz, All That Jazz, and Breaking Away. 1997, we have Candle in the Wind, Foolish Games, I'll Be Missing You, Unbreak My Heart, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. And then a couple good movies. We've got Titanic, Good Will Hunting, Contact, Boogie Night, and The Ice Storm for 1997.
So this one was first like decisive one kind of for me because
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, I think 1997 has better movies.
You think?
99 had better music.
I personally like Elton John a lot. I don't think that Candle in the Wind is one of his best songs, though. I think
I'll agree with you on that.
I think I mostly agree with your statement. Yeah, Good Will Hunting, obviously. Titanic was big movie. Just the movies from 1979 again just weren't that memorable. I think we got to give it to 97.
Yeah, I think that the only standout really from 79 on the movie end was Alien, which I enjoyed.
It was
I
good.
mean, it was the first real like sci-fi horror movie to come out. It kind
Right.
of created that subgenre. And I definitely think that the music from that year was better. I know My Sharana and Le Freak we listened to last night, and between last night's recording this, I've listened to the other ones. But yeah, I just think that the impact. I mean, Titanic was the highest grossing movie for till Avatar
Long
came
time.
out,
Yeah.
and then
Good Will Hunting's a great movie, obviously.
um, as you said, like Elton John, good music, not his best work, but
It's
definitely
not
still up there.
a bad song to listen to. It's definitely a good song.
And then we also listened to, I think, "I'll Be Missing You" last night.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'll go 97 on this one.
I'm going to agree with you. So most of these decisions have been unanimous. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling as we move on, it'll be a little more decisive.
Next week we're getting into the 80s,
Yeah.
and
80s, I was a
those
little disappointed. I missing a lot of songs that I really like there, but should be interesting to see.
yeah, dude, I can't wait. Next week, if people start disagreeing with me, I'm gonna
You gonna pop
extremely
off?
yeah.
I have a feeling there'll be a few disagreements. But the bracket I'm going to throw up is color coded, so you'll be able to see what matchups will be happening when.
And it'll be the updated bracket, so
Yep,
you can see which ones have won and what the new matchups are going to look like.
it will be filled in.
Yep, and that's it for Time Capsule this week.
Yep. Anything else you want to cover? Our quarantine time hasn't changed very much.
That's basically just been the same. No, I think that's pretty much just about it.
I did start Ozark, by the way. I'm hooked. It looks good.
Dude, that first episode,
It was good. It
good.
it got me going. I don't know. I think greater than Breaking Bad might be a bold statement, but I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes, so I'm not sure.
Wait till you get going.
All right. Have you
It gets-
started Outer Banks? Apparently, everybody's freaking out about Outer Banks.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. It's pretty good. It's like a modern. It's like an older Goonies almost in a way.
This was a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched it. I think the day or day after it came out. Nothing else to do. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Definitely, check that one out after Ozark. I think that's all from us today. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe for week 2 of Time Capsule and listen to the Spotify playlist and throw your picks in the comments.
Thanks for watching. Good people. See ya.